You have exactly 4,000 hours. That's how many waking, productive hours you get in a year. Spend 6 months learning the wrong 3D skill in 2026, and you didn't just waste time. You built a liability. Because some skills aren't just low value anymore. They're actively signaling to studios that your brain is still running 2022 software. In an industry mutating this fast, being outdated isn't a disadvantage. It's a disqualification. By the end of this video, you'll know the 5 specific 3D skills that are eating your time and killing your hireability. And I'll tell you exactly what to learn instead. But first, I need to tell you about the guy who spent 6 months becoming a master of something nobody wants anymore. And his friend, who spent those same 6 months on something completely different, got hired in 3 weeks. I'll tell you what that difference was. But not yet. Let me tell you about Marcus. Not his real name, but his mistake is everywhere. Marcus spent the first half of 2025 mastering photorealistic offline rendering. V-Ray, Corona, cycles with 4,000 samples. He can make a glass of water look so real you'd think it was photography. Caustics, dispersion, subsurface scattering. He's a scientist with a GPU. He applied to 12 studios last month. 0 callbacks. Not because the work was bad, because the work was irrelevant. Here's the belief you need to kill right now. Photorealism is the pinnacle of 3D. It was in 2019. In 2026, photorealistic still rendering is a commodity. AI image generators can spit out a product shot in 12 seconds that 90% of clients can't distinguish from your 40-hour render. And the 10% who can? They're using Unreal Engine 5 path tracing and getting feedback in real time while you're still waiting for a denoise node. Marcus's 6 months of render optimization, it's the equivalent of learning to repair typewriters in 1995. But here's the unexpected twist. The studios that do still need offline renders, they're not hiring renderers. They're hiring technical directors who can automate the render farm while solving pipeline problems. If your only value is, I can wait for a beautiful image, you're competing with patience itself. And patience doesn't get hired. But rendering isn't the only trap. The second one is even more painful because it starts with genuine talent. Let me introduce you to Priya, incredible sculptor. Her anatomy knowledge is surgical. She can carve a portrait from a single photo that looks like it belongs in a museum. She's been job hunting for 8 months. Here's why. Priya never learned what happens after the sculpt. She can make a 50 million poly masterpiece. But ask her to retopologize it for animation, she grimaces. Ask her to bake normal maps, she'll figure out slowly. Ask her to get it into a game engine with proper LODs and material constraints, she's lost. And here's the painful truth nobody told her. Studios don't buy sculptures. They buy solutions that move, deform, and perform. I know a lead character artist who told me straight up, I'd rather hire a mediocre sculptor who understands topology flow and engine constraints than a genius who only knows ZBrush. Ouch, but it gets worse. Because the skill that used to be her safety net, it's already being automated. And that automation isn't coming for her art. It's coming for her cleanup. You know who used to make great money? The retopology artist, the UV unwrap specialist, the person who took that 50 million poly sculpt and turned it into something usable. They were the unsung heroes of every pipeline. The fixers. Well, I have bad news and worse news. The bad news, AI retopology is now standard. Tools like Quadramesher, Blender's built-in remesh, and a dozen AI plugins can do in 30 seconds what used to take a human 6 hours. The worst news, studios are noticing that the cleanup phase doesn't need a specialist anymore. It needs a button pusher, and button pushers don't get senior rates. If your primary skill is, I clean up other people's messes, you're building a career on a foundation that's dissolving beneath you. But wait, before you think this is just about AI replacing technical tasks, let me tell you about the most dangerous trap of all. And this one has nothing to do with software. This is the skill that's killing more careers than any AI tool. Being a generalist who knows a little of everything and a lot of nothing. I do modeling, texturing, lighting, a bit of animation, some compositing, and I'm learning rigging. Stop. Please stop. In 2022, that sentence might have gotten you hired at a small studio. In 2026, it gets you filtered out in the first 10 seconds of a resume scan. Here's the belief you need to challenge. Knowing more tools makes me more hireable. It doesn't. It makes you indistinguishable from every other graduate who followed the same YouTube curriculum. Studios in 2026 aren't looking for Swiss Army knives. They're looking for scalpels. People who own one intersection so completely that they can't be replaced by an AI that does average everything. The generalist isn't adaptable. The generalist is average at scale. And average is exactly what AI gives you for free. So if you shouldn't learn offline rendering, isolated sculpting, cleanup specialization, or generalist dabbling, what should you learn? 3 things. And I need you to hear me on this. But first, remember that curiosity loop I opened at the start? About Marcus's friend who got hired in 3 weeks while Marcus flopped? Here's where it closes. Marcus's friend Leo didn't spend those 6 months on caustics. He spent them learning how to direct AI outputs, curate real-time looks inside Unreal, and explain to non-artists why something felt off. Same time investment, completely different ROI. Leo got hired in 3 weeks. Not because he was more talented, because he was more valuable. So here are the 3 skills that actually deserve your 4,000 hours this year. First, real-time fluency. Not, I tried Unreal once. I mean understanding how your art lives, breathes, and performs inside an engine. Frame budgets, LODs, shader optimization. If you can't speak real-time, you're speaking a dead language. Second, technical art. The intersection of art and code. Shaders, procedural workflows, tool creation. This is the moat. AI can generate a pretty picture. It can't write a Python script that fixes your team's broken export pipeline. Third, taste as a service. The ability to look at an AI-generated mesh, a real-time scene, or a rough blockout and know exactly why it fails and exactly how to fix it. Not the buttons. The judgment. The skill isn't making the thing anymore. It's knowing which thing to make, why it works, and how to get it across the finish line while everyone else is still pushing polygons. Look, 2026 isn't the year to accumulate skills like Pokemon cards. It's the year to be ruthless about what deserves your time. If this video felt like a punch in the gut, good. That means it landed where it needed to. Hit that subscribe button, because this channel is where we talk about 3D careers without the motivational poster nonsense. Every week, I break down what's actually working, what's dying, and where the money is really going. Drop a comment and tell me, which of these 4 traps are you stuck in right now? Or did I miss one that's hitting you harder? I read every single comment, and the best conversations happen down there. Like this video, if it saved you from 6 months of learning the wrong thing. It tells YouTube to put this in front of other artists who need to hear it before they invest their time. Share it with that friend who's been grinding tutorials that won't pay off. Be the reason they pivot while they still can. Your time is finite. Spend on skills that matter. See you in the next one. Take care.